I try and give the benefit of the doubt to the College Football Playoff Committee because they're the one watching all these games. They're the one analyzing everything. But after them putting Oklahoma at 6, I am very disappointed in them. Welcome back, everybody, to A Younger View in Sports. My name is James Irvin. This is David Snowman. And this is the final College Football Playoff rankings. We have our matchups. And boy, did the College Football Playoff Committee probably get this wrong. But their top 10 is Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Florida, Cincinnati, Georgia, and Iowa State. Now, here's mine. Alabama at 1, Clemson 2, Ohio State 3, Cincinnati at 4, Texas A&M at 5, Notre Dame is at 6, Florida's at 7, Coastal Carolina at 8, Georgia 9, and Oklahoma at 10. Let's talk about what they got right. Bama at 1, agree, obviously. Clemson at 2, agreed, good choice. Ohio State at 3, yes, 6 games, don't like that, won the Big Ten. You know, you got to have them. They're a really good team, and I think they can go up against, but just not this year. Maybe next year. Notre Dame at 4, no. Last time they faced Alabama in a national championship game, they got blown out 42-14. Now they're going to get to face Alabama again and probably get blown out 42-14. Maybe a little more points because our defense isn't that great, but you get the gist. They got blown out by Clemson, and they're going to get blown out again in the semifinal. So I think Cincinnati would have been a better matchup. Just give Cincinnati a chance. Played more than 6 games. They played 9. Undefeated. Conference champions. Deserve it more than Notre Dame. That's all I'm going to say. Notre Dame's only loss to Clemson with Trevor Lawrence. They got lucky. They beat Clemson without Trevor Lawrence. If they have Trevor Lawrence in that original game, they lose both those games. Then they're 9-2 or 10-2, whatever, and they're not in the college football playoffs. It would be Texas A&M or Cincinnati, and it should have been Cincinnati. A&M at 5, I agree with that. Should they be in? Yeah, maybe. You could definitely make a case for them over Cincinnati. And there's the case to be made there. Texas A&M. If you're not going to put in Cincinnati, you got to put Texas A&M. Either way, Notre Dame does not deserve to be in the college football playoff. And number 6, Oklahoma. We're just going to leave that there. Number 6, Oklahoma. Are you kidding me? 2-loss Big 12 conference schedule. Lost to like Kansas State and Iowa State. Did get their revenge, though, in the Big 12 championship. So I do think they're really a top 10 team for that. They're not inside the top 10. They're at number 10 for a reason. This is a 2-loss. This team, you're taking this team over Florida and Cincinnati and Georgia? No. Oklahoma is a top 10 team, but they're at number 10. And maybe you could make a case for some other teams behind them. But no. Oklahoma is not a top 10 team this year. Florida at 7, I agree with that. You know, they played pretty good in the bowl game, just their defense is terrible. And if they don't throw a shoe, you could definitely make a case for them to be number 4. Because they played really good in that SEC championship game. You look at it, if they beat that LSU team by not throwing a shoe, and you got the case, now you got a case for even more. You got a case for Cincinnati, you got a case for Texas A&M, and you got a case for Florida. And honestly, you would probably take Florida over Notre Dame. I would take Texas A&M over Notre Dame, and I would take Cincinnati over Notre Dame. Basically what I'm saying is Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be in this college football playoffs. They have Cincinnati at 8. I have them at 4 for obvious reasons. I explained them earlier. At 8, I have Coastal Carolina because they beat BYU, and I thought BYU was going to win. Just for that. And they also have a really good team this year, undefeated. Georgia at 9, I like that. They played their 2 biggest games and lost them. They will have another big game coming up in their bowl game. Can they win that and take that stereotype that Georgia doesn't win the big games out? Oklahoma at 10 for me. Iowa State at 10 for me. Iowa State, choked it up in the Big 12 championship. But other than that, they still are a good football team. I don't have them inside the top 10. But Oklahoma will take their spot. I'm telling you now, if Iowa State won that, they maybe could have had a case for the college football playoffs. I don't think they would have made it, though. They probably would have been at, my number 8 spot and just move Coastal Carolina and Georgia down a spot. So, there's my top 10. There's their top 10. The committee got Notre Dame wrong. I don't think they should have been there. They're going to get blown out by Bama, and Ohio State is going to get blown out by Clemson because Dabo Swinney put Ohio State at 11 in the country behind Coastal Carolina. That's the funniest thing I have ever seen, and Clemson's going to go out and they're going to back that up and they're going to blow out Ohio State. So I'd take Bama by 20 and I'd take Clemson by like 10 because Clemson's going to blow out Ohio State and then Alabama is going to blow out Notre Dame because we've seen it happen before. Notre Dame chokes in the playoffs and Clemson is just a much better team than Ohio State was this year. And Trevor Lawrence is going to put up Heisman numbers just to lose it to Devontae Smith. I said it. There's my Heisman prediction. It should go to Devontae Smith. He made Mac Jones look like a first-round pick, when in reality, he's either a mid-second-round pick, late second-round pick. Now, there it is. Devontae Smith, the Heisman. And there are my official predictions for the first round of the college football playoffs. I'd take Bama over Notre Dame, and I'd take Clemson over Ohio State, both by pretty large margin. I don't expect a field goal win from either of these teams. I expect Clemson by 10, and I expect Bama by 15 plus. Thank you for listening. I mean, here's some highlights from Devontae Smith's season. What we saw from Mac Jones last year looked nothing like this. He beats that Georgia defense on a corner to the end zone. Here he is again. He just gets by everybody. He makes Mac Jones look so good. You can't mess those throws up. Hi there, me, James Irvin from the future, and David the Snowman. If you noticed in the video, there was a big cut right there, right when I was talking about Devontae Smith and Mac Jones. Well, my camera cut that part out, so that last part was kind of a quick put together to just close off the video. That's on me. My camera cut out. I'm sorry for that. I tried to make it look as good as I can, but it didn't, so here's me explaining what happened. And if you've made it this far to the video, thank you. And of course, thank you for listening.